After the first conquests of the highest summits in the Himalayas, some Himalayas have chosen to climb without the help of oxygen, fixed ropes, or Sherpas. Most of those men are English, men in search of a new and more total commitment. For the last 20 years, Doug Scott and his friends have enjoyed attempting more technical climbs. Scott is among the first few men to have conquered Mount Everest by its most difficult slope.
Yes, I think just that type of person that does like to sort of travel and wander around. I mean, I've always been curious to sort of extend my horizon. I mean, all this sort of thing repeats itself, packing up and organising. I do get tired of that. But, and you forget, of course, how good it is to be out in the mountains. You get up to about, in the Himalaya, about 14,000 feet, and suddenly there's that bite in the air again. The air's so clear. You're seeing mountains, one mountain behind the other. You get that lovely feeling of never-endingness, and suddenly you realise you're back. You're sort of, I'm back again, and you just forget how good it is to be up there. I've always found it strange when those climbers who are in the race for the 8,000 metre summits will go routes that are largely prepared by other climbers. Obviously the prime thing is the summit, not how you get there.
When you go alpine style, you reach a point where you are committed, where you're out on a limb, where you put your life in the lap of the gods, if you like, and where you're moving fast over a lot of different terrain, maybe, and where there's a lot of excitement. But really, it's all to do with this commitment, where you do feel cut off, where there's no rope connecting you to the ground. You've completely left the ground, and it's just you and your partner. Maybe there's 3 or 4 of you all together, moving together, self-contained unit, looking after each other, caring about each other, building up a good spirit and a good energy, and moving into that point where you get a second wind on the climb. I think it must be the same in anything you do, any sort of occupation you might pursue, but when you throw your whole body and soul into something, where you really do get committed, you do get this second wind and this sort of superhuman burst of extra energy from somewhere. I like that.
Well, I was on Makalu last autumn, a few months ago, and there were more than 50 people from 10 countries, all on the same route. And it was just as busy as Mont Blanc on a nice summer day. And that's not why I've always gone to the Himalaya. One of the great attractions of the Himalaya is to go where you can be on your own, just your little group, looking after yourselves and taking responsibility for your own lives there. It is nice to go off to the Himalaya, where you can have the whole place to yourself, Sometimes I wake up in the morning really bright with a certain feeling as to what I should do next. It really is like a voice in my chest sometimes telling me now's the time to go for it. And that's exactly what happened on Kanchenjunga. And that was the third ascent of the mountain. At that time it was quite a significant step, certainly for us. It was a real breakthrough through the psychological barriers, because none of the big mountains of the world have ever been climbed by a small team, without oxygen and without Sherpas.
Eric Scott is addicted to traveling the world. He's already thinking about climbing other summits in Bhutan, Tibet, and even Antarctica.